in case you didn't know, there's a lot of discussions, a lot of scholars, Islamic scholars, and just academic scholars are sort of talking about in terms of hadith and whether they are actually fully reliable or not. You might not know about it because I did not fully know about it until I wasn't fully understanding Islam from that point, because when I looked at the Quran, I was like, yeah, it makes sense. I looked at hadith and some Sahih ones as well. It was like, does not fully make sense. Like, what is going on here? And threw me off a bit, got back, got into the right scholars I actually started speaking with, and now I understand. And I'm going to present to you something from not fucking Jonathan Brown. It's another guy from Dr. Joshua Little, who's actually a scholar at Oxford, and he specializes in Quran and Hadith studies, right? He's actually a specialist. And what he always talks about essentially is that one of the main key points that he speaks of is that, for 150 years after the Prophet ﷺ, he passed away, people were like, if you look at it from a historical perspective, and that's also what he presents, it's not, oh, here's why I'm against your religion. That is what Muslims think. They're like, here's why I hate your religion. Just look at it for fuck's sake from an academic perspective. And this is the problem, is that Muslims, they will fully ignore this idea. Like a lot of Muslims, I'm not saying all, I'm saying a lot of us will totally ignore it because we are so invested in it. Like, it has to be true. It has to be true. It has to be true, right? That we're not fully even willing to look into the arguments, right? You might look at me and be like, oh, so you're a Quranist now? No, bitch, I'm not, right? But that's what people go to. They go to those lengths. Understand that there was wars happening at that particular time. It's very like, understand. Imagine this: a lot of wars, right? There's crazy amount of wars at that time. Everybody's like, there's power struggles, everything going on around. You also have to understand that this wasn't just, oh yeah, there was war, bro. In the city of Medina, right? You have to understand the craziest thing. Even with Yazid's army as well, they were raping women, right? The companions, there were companions that were killed. There were, there were even children from rape, man. And that, it was really, really dark and demonic times. And during that particular time, everybody was just claiming, oh yeah, do you know what? Yeah, the Prophet said this was happening, these things were actually going on, right? Nobody was checking isnads at all, right? And you had the account that you have Ibn Sirin, for example, as well, where he said that they never asked for isnads until so essentially the fitna, right? And that is already decades deep into everything as well. So you look into the fact that like there was so much mess happening at that particular time. Now you combine that with, you have the 9th century, and then you have everyone that essentially cleaning it up, with Bukhari and